Hi everyone, welcome back to Geeks on Dice. It's Saturday, so we're playing Curse on Dice. Yay! Our wonderful journey back into Barovia. Last week, we got caught up on where Sid has been. Right? That was last week, yeah. Where she disappeared to for 2 sessions ago. As well as we found out V's real name is Victor Ravenhollow. And his name was forcibly changed by Strahd. As well as he's in league with a group of werewolves called the Atabastal, which is interesting. We also, we'll get to that later. As well as Millie has come up against her greatest foe yet, the tailor, the dressmaker. And of course, Dovan got drunk. Sana made an excellent, wonderful, fair deal with a candle demon named Bobble.
We'll see.
And I, as the dungeon master, cannot be happier. So, I gotta pull this up real quick, and we'll start there. Sana, we left off right with you waking up to early morning light, if you recall. As you sit up, the table in your room sitting in front of your fireplace, Bobble is standing there with some strange bent wood or bent metal rod, and he seems to be spotting a ball off the table with it into a tankard, and you watch it fly off and land in the tankard. And he looks at you, and he's got something in his mouth that's strange and blue and has a wooden stick sticking out of it. And he pulls it out and says, "Morning, sleepyhead."
Is that a lollipop?
Not quite. It's a good guess.
Okay. What are you doing here? I thought you only showed up in Dream World.
That was before the deal. I get to do this one-time deal where I introduce some friends of mine to you.
Okay.
And he nods to the left of your bed.
Okay, I look.
When you look over, you see it's a dark purple color. It's kind of oval in shape like Bobbles is, but he doesn't have horns. Instead, he has this big floppy bunny ears. In fact, he looks a lot like a rabbit with more like a football shaped head.
Okay.
And big, fishy looking eyes. They're almost as big as his whole head. And he's got a slight underbite. His body's kind of triangular. He's also wearing this. You're pretty sure it was a white robe at some point, but it's all torn up, and there seems to be red and pink stains all over it.
Okay.
He says, "That there's fungus." And then he looks over, and you see him look around. He puts the metal rod on his shoulder, and he's looking around for a little bit. He's like, "Oh, come out of there." And you're, "No, I don't want to." "No, come out of there." "Fine." And something crawls out, and when it stands up, it's kind of a pinkish, orangish color. It's got a fat body and these long, gangly arms. And it turns around, you see it's got it doesn't even have sockets for eyes. And then it holds one of its hands up, and it got an eyeball in the palm of its hand. It says,
okay.
and that's scum.
Okay. I know what this is. Monsters.
I'm glad you caught that. And he says, "Well, these two will keep an eye on you, Sana. In the meantime, make sure you don't try to get out of our deal."
What do you mean, get out of your deal? How could I get out of your deal?
Well,
I don't even know what you want from me yet.
That's true, but a lot of times people try to get out of a deal they made with this demons thinking we're all bad or something. I don't know how we ever got that reputation. That's just rude. Says,
you do this after I get dressed and out of bed? I'd appreciate some privacy.
Um,
Kind of caught me off guard here.
he looks around the room and says, "Sure, you guys go under the bed so she has some privacy." And then he like turns around, puts the club back on, or the metal rod back on the table.
I'm still a little uncomfortable. Can you like just leave the room for a few minutes and I'll call you back in?
He says, "I could, but then I can't come back and explain the things I got to tell you.
All right. Just go ahead and do it anyways. Then.
You don't even have to get out of bed. Stay there, nice and comfy."
Okay.
And then he snaps his fingers. Says, "Fungus." And he looks over. He says, "Come here, take some of these pastries over at her." And he runs over and grabs the pastries and like sets it on the bed. And he's looking at you, and he has this big grinning smile, and he just kind of waves his clawed hand. Hi.
Hello. I'm not gonna eat those.
So Bobble says, "Okay, so I'm looking into your fiance situation. His soul is independent. We already know that. But it's worn by a demon known as Xanis, apparently. There's rumors he's trying to forge his own. You call it a realm, you call it a plane. It's basically the same thing as Barovia here. And he's trying to carve it right out of the Shadowfell, just kind of exactly like Strahd did. So there's a good chance that he's planning on using his soul in some kind of ritual for that. So we might want to get on that."
Yeah, definitely. Where is he?
It's kind of hard to tell when we're in here.
Well, that was part of our deal. You had to tell me where he is.
He's probably in the Shadowfell somewhere. We'll be looking more into it. The sooner you get out of here, the sooner we can figure it out a little better.
All right. You better not be going back on our deal.
I can't go back on our deal, remember?
Yep.
1 sec. Sorry about that.
Yep.
So, what did you say last? I'm sorry.
No, I just want to make sure you don't go out of our deal. Otherwise, our contract will be void. If I don't get the information you promised me.
I know. I keep my promise. I keep my deals. I told you that. In fact, I believe part of our deal was me telling you how you could get your husband back. And I know someone that can do it. They can get him out of the pendant and give you him back alive all in one. But you're not paying me a price on that. That's free knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
There's these, let's call them ancient beings. I'm not quite sure what they're exactly called. You'll be able to find them once you get there. In a place right here in Barovia, in fact, called the Amber Temple.
Amber Temple?
The Amber Temple.
Amber Temple. Okay.
Like, you ever seen the colorful, the yellow rock with the bugs in it?
Yeah, I know.
Like that. But it's a big temple made out of the stuff.
Have you heard of this?
You probably have not heard of it yet, no.
Okay.
This is one of those things that you would have had to ask Sid about in her book.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're lacking one Sid this week because Jana's not feeling well.
That's okay.
It's okay. But their price is going to be way steeper than mine. Like, it a lot.
Is it going to conflict with our deal?
It shouldn't.
Okay.
Unless they like try to trade your life for their life, but odds are it'll be like one of your friends or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got plenty of friends.
Yeah, we all got plenty of friends, right?
Yeah.
And then you hear from under that, no.
Oh.
He's like, shut up, scum.
Oh, I'll be your friend, scum.
I don't want to be your friend.
Oh.
And he just seems to be hiding under the bed.
Okay.
Bobble's just shaking his head at the foot of your bed. Just, well, Fungus, and he points over at the bunny-shaped one. He says, Fungus will be staying with you.
What do you mean staying with me?
He's the one that's gonna be. He's gonna be sticking around. Nah, he can leave the room. It's just when I leave the room, we'll only be able to talk when you're in your sleep.
Okay. Will the others be able to see fungus?
Nah, that's just a you thing. As long as you are the only one holding that coin, only you can see fungus.
Okay, so it has to do with the coin. All right.
Yeah. Haven't you ever had something magical before?
Yeah, of course.
I was gonna say, you are a wizard, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm just learning a lot of new things happening in my life right now.
Yeah, we all get our start somewhere.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, if that's all the information you have for me, then
And he nods his head and says, "Until I have more." And then he snaps his fingers, and he's gone. And Fungus is just standing at the side of the bed, staring at you with big eyes.
okay. Um, I just kind of like look at him and I say, "Can you like go run around the house for a bit or something?"
And he takes off in a full sprint and swings the door open and just leaves it open and takes off.
Okay. I check under the bed.
Yep, Scum is nowhere to be found.
Okay, good. I go and close the door, and I get changed, and sort of lament over the strangeness that happened, and possibly regret my.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, before I leave, or before we switch characters real quick, I do need to point out that your dress is elegantly made on the exact design that you and the tailor agreed. It's on like a mannequin in the corner of the room.
Okay.
And switch over to Millie. Millie, when you pull yourself out of bed, you open your eye and the first thing you see is the accursed dress staring back at you.
And you were gonna have a reckoning. Maybe not today, but someday. What's going on at the moment?
Nothing. Just usual. You can hear the usual morning clatter in the floor below you, because on your guys' end of the house where your rooms are, the kitchen is right below you, so you can hear people bustling below you, and that's about it. But the morning's yours.
Bathe, necessaries, food.
What's that?
I said bathe, necessaries, food. Pretty basic morning stuff.
Okay. So, Dovan, you wake up on the floor in the middle of your room.
Typical Dovan, yes.
Yes. Laid out on the bed, however, when you finally pull yourself up on the post on the banister, you see there's a finely made suit laid out on the bed with a note that says, "Do not ruin this until after party."
Does it imply that I have to wear it? Dovan's just going to carry it around.
It's just gonna kick. Like, do you like ball it up, or do you like fold it neatly, or just thing it over your shoulder? What do you do?
He balls it up and just kind of tucks it under his arm. He's got to get that Dovan stench on it.
Most of your stench is missing, but yes.
That's true. The little he has left.
I wonder if Millie told him that when alcoholics go through withdrawals, they actually start to stink very badly, very quickly. Dovan would keep drinking.
That's totally up to you. The contemplation.
Quite a dilemma for Dovan.
So, Dovan, when you walk out and you have your suit, your nice, freshly made last night suit all balled up under your armpit, and you walk out, and there's this a super thin skeletal looking man walking through the hall, and he looks at you and he gasps in absolute horror, and he pushes you into your room.
Dovan being confused. What's going on?
Yeah, he totally just like catches you off guard, pushing you, and he like grabs the suit, and he's like, "You can make it smell however you want," and he's like trying to bat out the wrinkles, and he says, "Do not let my wife see this. She will hang you."
I was trying to keep it safe for the night. Safest spot under Dovan arm.
He just like slowly just grabs his forehead and goes, "These people are going to be the death of me. We got one of you trying to stab us. You're trying to ruin everything. I'm fairly certain your friend Millie is trying to set her dress on fire at the moment." Hand over to Millie, trying to set the dress on fire at the moment.
She's contemplating it, but hasn't actually.
She's just standing there staring at it angrily.
She understands the importance of a disguise for a mission.
Like
She
that.
doesn't have one, but she has proficiency in disguise kits to all the costume. It's an unpleasant costume, though.
Well, the object is to make you look not like you when it comes to disguises. So, at the same time all this is going on with you, Dovan, Victor walks in. He looks at the suit, and he says, I don't suppose they've made it with all those wrinkles, Dovan.
That's how I got it.
That's how you got it. And he looks at the tailor guy, and he says, that is absolutely absurd. What happened between getting it made and bringing it to Dovan? And the guy opens up his mouth to defend himself. He's like, nope. I will remember this next time I need a suit made. And the guy just hangs his head in defeat. And he just walks out of the room.
As he's walking out, can you get me some wine?
And Victor will look out the room and say, Dovan requests wine, but don't bring it to him until at least noon.
Oh. Dovan is sad. He has to wait.
I mean, you only have to wait an hour.
Fine, he'll manage, I guess.
Start sweating after like 10 minutes. I've been awake for 10 minutes and I'm not drunk yet. This is a problem.
The cumulative hangover might kill Dovan. Just might.
That's a good point. What is happening? Okay. So we gotta skip that whole part. That's a problem. So yeah, you guys basically go about most of your day. And finally, somewhere around 6 bells, so 6 o'clock in the afternoon, almost evening, I guess you could call it. Victor calls everyone into the room. And Dovan, you go into the room first. When you come in, Arena and Ismark are already there. And Ismark nods at you and like holds up a flask and says, "See you there." And then Victor snaps his bones. And they disappear in a puff of smoke. And do you actually have the suit on, or were you going to wait until you were explicitly told to put the suit on?
Dovan's going to wait until he is told. Otherwise, he will not be touching that suit. Well, putting it on it.
Victor slowly points over at the curtain and says, Dovan, you need to hurry up and put the suit on.
It's going to cost you 5 gold coins.
No. Just put the suit on.
3 final offer.
Roll persuasion.
Can I intimidate him? I'm better intimidation. Now we're going for
Dovan
persuasion.
and Millie are such good friends.
What's that?
I can see why Dovan and Millie are such good friends.
So that's a 4 in the die, but I get a -1, so 3.
Oh, you just barely missed it, Dovan.
I know.
He just looks at you sternly and says, "Go put the suit on."
Lowers his head and goes back behind the curtain. You can tell that he's having a lot of trouble doing this and sighs about every 30 seconds.
He says, "Dovan, do you need some help back there? I can send someone to help you."
I got it.
Eventually, a small boy brings a chair in, and he like stands on the chair and starts helping you pull your arms and your sleeves and get everything. And he's like, "Sir, the problem is you're trying to put it over your armor. You're not supposed to put this on over your armor."
No talk. No talk. I got this.
And he like starts undoing your armor for you.
Dovan's going to come out looking proud like he did it and no one had to help him. And if the boy tries to talk, he will glare at him.
Okay, so your armor's just like laid in a pile behind the curtain. And as you walk out from behind the curtain, Millie walks in wearing a dress.
Dovan's reaction. Let's see. Dovan will literally fall to the ground crying.
By the way,
just laughing so hard.
What's that, Mikhail?
For the use in still being able to stealth, it's dark green and darker green for the two colors.
Okay. So yeah,
I imagine kind of a Earth Kingdom style symbol thing.
So basically, the colors of Dovan.
Oh, maybe Dovan would be happy. Yep, Dovan's going to admire it, knowing that you always cared for Dovan.
And that's canon now.
To Dovan, it is. Yes, it's Dovan. 100% will believe
that. That means when Dovan betrays us all, he'll betray me last.
And then Sid and Sana walk in together, wearing their fancy dresses, which you're not used to seeing them in dresses either, because Sid, being the nerd she is, but is still always combat ready, and Sana's. What does Sana normally wear?
Sana normally wears like pants and like a vest, kind of like general traveling attire, some common clothes, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
in a bit, but yeah.
One other thing that would have been requested of you is you all bring a change of clothes up, like your regular civilian clothes, but you guys lack your armor. And they're all folded and put into this big brown bag that V has in his hand now. He says, "Is everybody ready to do this? Just, when we get there, just act casual. We're there as guests. Okay?" Looking at Millie. "Do not change out of your dress too soon." Looking at Dovan. "You just be yourself."
So there'll be wine.
Well,
will be fine.
It is a Ravenloft ball, so yes.
Just being sure.
Dovan, did you know that recovering alcoholics tend to stink more than normal people?
See, you get drunk enough, you don't care. But then again, stench. Millie, you have given me a very difficult decision to make. I will dwell on this.
It's just moral quandary after moral quandary on Curse on Dice, guys. And he looks at Sana and says, "You got this, right? No worries."
I think I can handle myself.
I sure hope so.
I've got backup.
Yeah, have you ever done spy work before?
No.
And he kind of cocks his head at you for a minute. Says, "Something seems different about you."
Why? What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
And as you look, you just keep darting your eyes around the room for a second. You see that fungus is carefully. He's floating kind of, and he climbed up. He didn't float. He climbed up the back of Victor, and he's looking at his eyes, looking around the.
I'm kind of like chewing him, try to stealthily like.
Sona, yeah, you're having a fit.
Oh, no, sorry, there's a fly in here.
Victor's like, is there? How did a fly get in here?
It seems a little cold for flies.
No, it does. I swear, there's a fly in here. It's fine. I think I hit it. I think I killed it. It's fine. I gotta go to the
I don't know. I've never seen you kill anything before.
Shut up. I've killed plenty of things.
Something's definitely wrong.
No, of course not. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm gonna storm out of the room and like head to the washroom or something, and try to collect myself.
Yeah, your own room has its own washroom.
Okay, yeah. So I rush up into my room.
So you just try to look in the mirror and like deep breath for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking to yourself already?
I gotta get my shit together. I gotta get better at all of this. I just take a few deep breaths. I say, you could do this. Okay.
Meanwhile, in the room upstairs, Victor's tapping his feet, and he's like, "I thought she was ready. Didn't you say she was ready?"
Okay, and then I come out and
You know how wizards are.
hey.
A little too intimately, yes.
After you expect them, but before you need them.
It's a good time to be there.
Okay,
Okay.
pretty good at that.
So, Sana, eventually you come back up to the room.
Okay.
And Fungus is no longer messing with Victor. He's like looking at a globe in the corner of the room.
Okay.
And he's spinning it very slowly.
Okay. Do I still have Sherbert?
Yeah, you still have Sherbert with you, but like now he's in like a saddlebag kind of thing rather than like your whole full backpack.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm gonna ask if I can leave him here in the mansion if he'll be safe.
Victor will say, yeah, just set your whole bag. Well, set the Micah did on the chair over there, and he like he like puts a finger up to his head for a minute, or up to his head for a minute, and another child runs into the room and like grabs Sherbert, and Sherbert goes, pfft. And the kid just stands there with wide eyes and looks at all of you, and he just walks slowly out with Sherbert in his hands, staring at it very intently.
Don't eat it. It's poison.
Holds it even farther, like as far as he can.
Okay.
Where do you want me to take it, sir?
Just
Ma'am.
Ask Sherbert.
Where would you like to go? No, I don't think I should say that out loud. That they wouldn't find that funny. Okay, I'll take you to her room.
Okay, yeah, that'll be okay.
Sherbert's just telling this kid horrible things that Millie's been teaching it.
I don't know what Sherbert eats, but I've been giving it rocks and grass, so that seems to work.
Soil, yeah.
Soil, yeah.
Soil would work enough. So yeah, Victor says, "Will that finally be everything?"
Yeah, I think so. I think we're ready.
Anybody else have any last minute preparations? And no, Dovan, you cannot put your armor on over your suit.
It's in the process of like grabbing it. It's just
And, like before Millie speaks, he points at her. Yes, you need to wear the dress.
It's not going to make me that much easier to nail down anyway.
Okay. And looks at Sid, and Sid gives him a nod, snaps his fingers, and all five of you, there's this big, huge whirling. It gets really hot. There's smoke everywhere. You can see like embers flare. And then you appear on the front lawn of Castle Ravenloft.
It's different every time. Is there a reason it's different every time?
just let it happen, Millie. Just let it happen.
No, I could get used to it if they did it in the same way. It's not fair.
But you liked the ground just eating you?
No,
At least we had warning this time.
that was a really bad one. I did not like that one.
And then Victor goes, "Oh yeah," and then like rubs his eyes for a second, and the flames disappear. He says, "Shh! Don't tell anyone about that."
About what?
Exactly.
I don't even know what it is.
Exactly. And then he starts to he stops for a second and looks at Dovan, and if he had a human face, you'd think he'd be getting that worried look, like, oh shit, he's gonna tell someone.
We'll see how the night goes. How drunk Dovan gets.
So you guys begin walking up to the large stone steps, and at the top of the steps is Rahadin, and he greets each one of you until Sid, and he just kind of sticks his nose up and Sidia, and then passes by Nisana, just giving her more attitude because he's a douche like that. And like the moment you guys walk in the door, Strahd is just inside the door greeting his guests because there are tons of other guests like flocking in at the same time. He'll shake like all of your hands and bow and do all the gentlemanly things, and then he'll take Sid by the hand and say, "Sidia, come with me," and then he like immediately directs her to a different room off to the side, and he disappears with Sid. Victor like whispers, "That's probably not a good thing."
No, certainly not.
We'll see her again.
I hope so. It could be a lot more trouble than you're thinking. And he says, "Right, to the chapel. We must get in and out." And he begins walking down the hallway, and then becomes immediately distracted by a very tall woman with long blonde hair. Says, "Mr. V, I presume." He says, "Yes." She says, "I must talk to you about your silk sales," and then like drags him away, and now V is gone.
Oh no.
I think V's got to squeeze.
I'm going to call over my little demon friend, Fungus.
You look around, and Fungus is nowhere to be found.
What?
Yeah.
What? Where's my Fungus? I take out my coin and I like shake it, and
When you shake it, you still don't see Fungus in this room, but there's this bright shining light out of the corner of your eye.
okay.
So you turn and you follow it into the next room.
Yes.
You find Fungus, and he's like standing on the back of a couch, and he's trying to straighten a pitcher.
Oh, that's nice of him. I'm gonna go
Like a-
and call him. Fungus. You can talk, right?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. I need you to do something for me. It's very important.
What is that?
I need you to follow the skeleton.
The skeleton.
Yeah, you know the skeleton with the weird fiery eyes? I mean, he doesn't have the fiery eyes anymore, but you know the skeleton, right?
Yes, the one with the green flame eyes.
Yeah, the one you were climbing on before. I need you to follow him, and I need you to.
He says, "Okay," and then he jumps down and like runs like through you.
Oh wait.
Mind you, all these guys are like just inches shorter than you.
Okay.
So he just like runs through you. He starts heading off on the direction.
Okay.
Until you say, "Hey, wait," and then he stops. He just stops dead and pivots on his heel.
I said, I need you to tell me what they're talking about. Just tell me everything that happens between skeleton and the other one.
Okay. Well, I don't know anything yet. Do I? I should go now, right?
Yeah, you should go now. Go now. Go now. There's no time. Go now.
The skeleton, right?
The skeleton. Yes. Go now.
Which way did he go?
I point him in the direction of the way that they went.
And he turns around and he runs through a wall.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back and join Millie and Dovan then.
Okay. And just before you get to Dovan, though, Strahd, you hear Strahd's voice behind you. "Miss Sana,
Oh. Hello.
how are you this evening?"
I'm good. It's good. I'm good. Oh, here. I pull out that little black book and I say, I learned these spells.
Hey,
I've transferred them into my spell book. Uh, so I'd like to give this back to you now.
he takes it, gently, and he says, "Thank you, wonderful. I'm glad you had the time to learn it." And he like hands it to a servant and says, "Back up to the library, please." And he turns around, heads back to the stair where the stairs are. And he says, "As for your fiance, your beloved, I have done some research, and it turns out there may be someone here in Barovia that can help you get him back."
Oh, I know. Um,
You
well,
know
well,
how?
well no, I mean, well,
He
who could that be? That would be really helpful.
roll deception real quick.
Oh boy. I rolled a 3. I don't think I have deception.
He
Nope,
just
it's
he
a
looks
3.
at he just looks at you for a minute. I'm sorry, I know I'm moving the screen. I'm looking something up real quick. Where in the blue? There it is. And he kind of smiles at you because obviously you think you fooled him.
I smile back. Big grin, like he's never seen.
He says, "So, have you heard of the Amber Temple?"
I might have heard of it. Why? What's so special about it? And where is it also?
It it's special because it contains ancient beings. It's sort of a resting place or tomb for some great powers. They may
Oh,
be able to bring your husband back.
is
Or
it
your fiance. I keep saying husband. That's a DM screw up.
is it is it dangerous?
Um, it depends on which creatures are living there at the moment or around it. Also, the journey to Mount Gaiacus can be quite treacherous.
Oh, is that where it is?
Yes,
Have you ever been there?
a few times.
Do you think you'd be able to help me get there?
I can draw you a map.
It would mean so much.
I will have it for you by the end of the night.
Oh, thank you. That would
Yes.
be wonderful. It was nice seeing you again. This is a lovely ball you're having.
Thank you. It's only just beginning.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go find my friends now.
He says, yes, find your friends. And don't forget, in the main hall, is where the dancing will happen.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll see you. I'll see you.
And he nods. And with a smile, he lets you leave.
Okay. Yeah, I scamper off.
Okay. Yeah, you find your friends. So Dovan and Millie, Sana just comes up to you after she disappeared for a few minutes.
Did they notice that I was gone at all?
I mean, Millie has the passive perception to know.
Dovan wouldn't have.
No. Dovan's looking for wine.
Where'd you run off to?
Bathroom. Just bathroom. I've been having kind of an upset stomach. So you know.
That why you've been so strange, Rolte?
What's that?
Is that why you've been so strange?
Yeah. I think it's just some food poisoning or something. I don't know. I'll get over it.
In the middle of your conversation, Fungus comes back up and he walks right up to you, like, and he's standing right next to Millie. He says, "Oh, that was so boring. They were talking about worms and silk and money and nothing fun, like toenails."
What? What else? I mean, yeah, no, yeah, sick food poisoning.
Toenails? What are you saying about toenails?
No, well, I have an ingrown toenail. So it's hard to walk. It's nothing. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. It's nothing.
It
Let's
seems like you're having a really bad taste on it. Should you sit down?
maybe. Yeah, I think we should go find a table to go sit at. Probably a good idea.
So
You-
you guys all walk into like the main hall, and it's like a junior high school dance where there's like tables around, and then there's like where people are dancing in the middle. You just find a table somewhere and sit yourself down. And Fungus climbs on the table and he's sniffing the flowers on the table.
Okay.
But he's being Have. He starts eating one of the flowers.
Oh no! I try and like shoo him off the table, discreetly.
Dovan, you do have wine now, by the way.
Dovan consumes massive amounts of wine.
But where Millie's sitting at, the flowers are in between you, so she doesn't see you like swat at Fungus
Okay.
this time.
Okay.
This time.
So what do you guys want to do? You're here. You're at the ball. Do any of you remember what you're supposed to be doing at this particular ball?
I can't remember. We do a little
Just
recap.
to steal something.
Oh yeah, we have to steal the amulet. There's an amulet somewhere.
Good job. That's teamwork, guys. Teamwork makes the dream work. I can't believe I just said that.
Fucking teamwork.
Uh,
Do you remember where it's at?
it's on a throne, I think.
No. Oh, come on, guys. Victor literally just said it.
Today?
Yeah, today, like 5 minutes ago.
Damn.
Uh, short attention spans.
Yep.
It's in the chapel.
Right. Where's the chapel at?
Well, you gotta find it.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna sit at the table, and I'm just gonna kind of put on my glasses, my glasses of charm person, and I'm just gonna kind of like lay there, and I'm gonna use my familiar, and I'm gonna enter my familiar's vision, and
Mhm.
sort of like start scouring the halls as like a small mouse.
Okay. So, are you like doing the ward thing where you can see through the mouse's eyes and all that?
Yeah, that's why I'm covering my eyes.
So you
before-
guys. So you're saying you have sunglasses on inside?
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm basically just like totally out of
So,
it.
right.
Terrible.
Like drool.
Yeah, but I'm trying to like make it look normal.
Fungus is like standing there waving in front of your eyes.
Okay.
But no one can see that because you're not seeing it at the moment.
Yeah, I inform the other two as well, just so they can help me sort of with my facade.
Right.
Like they know that I'm paralyzed.
Right. Okay. So yeah, mouse skitters off, and you see a lot of feet, a lot of ankles. As long as you're on the floor, just do your best not to get stepped on, and you climb up like a counter, and you like try to climb on top of the vase, and it looks over, and you can see Strahds is talking to all sorts of guests. There's like a crowd around him at the moment. A lot of noise, a lot of like that low murmuring sound.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, it's a party. They're loud and boisterous, having fun, not low murmuring.
Is there a band?
Yeah, there's definitely music. There's like
What type of music are they playing? Ska? Ska?
yeah, ska. They're playing ska and rap metal and no, like it'd be like a Victorian age party. So like the classical music, the violins, the cellos, the maybe a flute in there somewhere.
Oh, nice. Okay.
A lot of strings.
Right.
It's pleasant music to the ears though.
I'm gonna see how far away I can go with my blind familiar.
That is important.
Yeah, I realize there's a certain distance. I think it was 100 feet. Yeah, it's 100 feet. So as long as the chapel's within 100 feet of me.
Trying to determine if you would be able to get there within 100 feet. You are on the ground floor. So, here's the thing. You can get into every room where the doors are open.
Okay.
But there are several rooms around here where the doors are not open, including the hallway you came in. There is one big double door. You know there's a door at the back of the room that's closed. And there's a door in the far corner, but you see that pops open every now and then, and a servant will bring out food and like set it on the buffet and then take empty dishes back up and close the door. So you know that one's the servant's hall.
Okay.
So,
nothing that looks like a chapel,
but nothing that looks like a chapel.
Okay, and I can't really get much further than that.
No.
I'll return to myself then. It'll probably take a few hours, so if you want to see what the other two want to do.
Yeah. Dovan,
So,
you're drinking heavily.
Yep.
After an hour or two, you got to urinate. So you get up, you go to find somewhere to urinate. You can't find a bathroom, so you go outside to where there's trees. You fuss with your suit pants for a while, remembering that you cannot break the pants yet.
Oh, that'd be scary because he really needs to pee, but is trying to be gentle. He'd be dancing pretty good by that tree, trying to get those things off.
So finally, you go and you unclip your pants, and you finally relieve yourself. And on your way back in, you're passing through, and you hear a familiar, loud, hearty laugh. And you look over, and you see, I gotta look up his name real quick.
I think I've got it. Maybe.
See if you remember it.
I thought I wrote it down somewhere.
Okay.
Other papers.
I'm the king of that.
No, but I don't know where the paper is.
Okay. You see Darian.
There we go. Damn. So close.
It's okay. I had to look it up all week. You see Darian sitting at kind of like a rounded bar counter, and that was. You don't think he was here set up here last time? You would have noticed something cool like that. But it's like this rounded bar counter, and there's like a bartender like pulling out ale and wine and whatever he can, and quickly serving it to everybody. You see Darian sitting there, and he noticed you, and he opens arms. He goes, "Dovan, where you been?"
Yeah, wolves, things, nah, nothing. Let's drink. Round 2.
He says, "That sounds awful. Come over and drink with me."
He's going to go over and drink with Darian. No one's stopping him.
As you sit down, there's like a chair next to Darian, so you sit there, and then like next to him, or next to that spot, is a young woman, but she leans over and she like pulls your shoulder down for you to listen to her, and she whispers, "His brother Laris was just killed, so don't let him get too crazy tonight."
I find the best medicine is getting drunk, so no promises.
Just don't let him hurt himself, okay?
I'll keep an eye on him.
And then she
Pat him
hops
on the back.
She hops down and like trots out of the room. Darian says, "Hey, where are you? So wolves, man, that sucks. Did they where are they? Are they dead?"
Ripped one in half. It was great.
That's awesome. Get him some more wine. And you guys are just sitting there being loud and insane and drunk.
Yes. As Dovan likes.
And as that lady's like walking away, you can hear someone walk up to her and say, "Hi, Gertruda, how are you doing tonight?" And they walk away. So while Dovan is off and about, Sana is zoned out. Sid is MIA. Victor's MIA. So you're just sitting there with flowers in between you and Sana, Millie.
Yeah, Millie is going to definitely try and just slip out of the room.
So like
investigation.
So you're gonna leave poor Sana all by herself while she's paralyzed and zonked out.
You can't see that.
Okay. So yeah, as you hop down, you go to walk away. There's a woman, another tall woman with long, stringy hair. She looks kind of like the one that Victor was talking to, but this lady has some long nails that are all different colors, and like one of her pinky nails like does a spiral thing. And she says, "You're Millie, aren't you?"
And you need to pick a color.
She says, "But these ones are so lovely. How could I ever choose?"
You have more than one day.
I suppose you're right.
It's a thing of patience.
And she takes she reaches out her hand to take yours. Her long, gross. There's like a pimple or a wart right there, and she holds her hand out to like shake yours.
Millie shakes it tentatively.
Okay, like when you shake her hand, like one of her long nails scratches you on accident, and
oh dear God.
She says, "My name is Morgantha. What is yours?" I already know your name. Why would I say that?
Or
I hear
someone missing their mother.
What's that?
Like, is someone missing? Like, after she like forgets that she already said my name, just is someone missing their mother? like she's lost it or something.
Like she's the crazy grandma or something. It is an older lady.
I mean, I've had that happen when I went to go visit my own grandmother in the nursing home. Just some random woman I'd never met in my life, fairly deep into the dementia, just grabbed my face and started looking at me, and I'm like, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?"
She says, "I heard you like getting into trouble."
One person's trouble is another person's fun.
This is true. Do you? And she looks around and whispers as quietly as she can, but just so you can hear. "Do you know about vampires?"
Not really. People keep failing to mention much about them. I seem to spend a lot of time around them at this point, but
She says,
I don't know anything.
"No, nobody's told you about vampires?" And she looks around. "Well, there's a bunch of them here." She says,
I've gathered that blood is kind of their thing, but that's about it.
and she says, "Let's sit down. Let's sit down." And she like pulls your chair back out and like thrusts you back into your chair and sits down next to you, like where Dovan was sitting. And she says, "Something's wrong with this seat. It smells funny." Anyway, and she looks at you and says, "So vampires, they have sharp, pointy teeth and like long claw, like longer than claws than me, and like they drink blood, and they like to kill people. They think that's fun. Oh, and they're immortal, by the way. Did you know that? They live forever unless someone kills them. And they don't like silver, and they don't like holy symbols sometimes, but only some of them." And she just kind of rambles on for a while, telling you everything she can.
Millie zones in and out, listening. She kind of gets the idea that this woman doesn't have many friends, and she might catch something useful while she's talking. She like takes notes on the more important aspects. Claws seem important. Sharp teeth.
Okay. Eventually, two younger women walk up to you. One of them looks to be about your age or Arena's age. The other one slightly older, a little closer to Sana's age. They come over and one of them says, "Mother, we must be going. It's getting late." And Morgantha looks at her and says, "Oh, but I was making a new friend." And the lady looks at you. She looks at you for a minute and says, "Apologies. Mother is not quite what she... Her mind is slipping." And she says, "You watch your mouth." She reaches up and smacks her in the forehead. And the woman
Millie has to stifle a laugh with her hand. Just like, right. Oh shit. I mean, she was born dockside. This is the shit she grew up with. She just says, "Mother, we really must be going. You must be going to bed soon." And she glares at her mother. Morgantha finally says, "Okay." And she pats her knee. Says, "We'll see you again soon, Millie." Sure. She slowly stands up. And just kind of hands like Mr. Burns walks out of the room. When she's far enough out of the room, Millie just kind of whispers, "God, I hope not." And the woman looks at you again, says, "I'm so sorry, Miss Millie, was it?" "Yes." Gertrude here let me know that my mother got loose and was talking to you. I'm so sorry." "And you are?" I'm leaving. I'm sorry. I must be going." And then she heads out the room. Didn't get your name. People here are real shitty about common decency. And the younger woman in the purple dress says, "Yes, I'm sorry. Their family is normally very secretive about their name for some reason. I've never understood it. Mine, on the other hand, is Gertruda." Millie's jaw just kind of... "So this is where you've been. Fuck. I'm sorry. Where I've been? Been itching there for a week. What on earth are you talking about?" Does she look anything like her mother? Or like she would be that Gertruda? Her mother was kind of wrinkly and haggard, wasn't she? So it'd be harder to tell. But when you look into her eyes seem the same. That's about the only thing same you can really tell. Okay. Aggressive lady, seems controlling. Does that ring any bells? Are you speaking of my mother? That one. Yes. I met her. She threw things at me. That sounds like mother. Sounds like a lot of people I've met. Yes. I'm sure. And she doesn't know what to say at this point. So sir, what are you doing here? Are you in a good spot? What on earth do you mean? Are you better off than you were when you ditched your mother? Oh yes, I can even go out into the fields if I wish. I can go out, and as long as I stay out of the woods. Mr. Zarovich, Lord Zarovich says, as long as I don't go back into the woods, he'll keep me here safely. Big fucking wolves in the woods. There's some dangerous things, yes. When I finally got away from my mother, Lord Zarovich found me wandering the woods, so he brought me here to be safe, and now I'm part of the serving staff. It actually and this is the point when you notice she has a jug of wine in her hand. Would you like some wine? I'm sorry, I'm very new. No, I prefer to keep my wits about me. I could have someone bring you water, if you wish. That would be fine, thank you. Okay, or goat's milk if you like. Water. Water. Okay. And it's just, I will send someone over, and then she leaves. Mark that down. And someone else comes back later with water and pours you some water. He says, "Would you like me to leave the jug with you, ma'am?" Sure. He sets it down. And it's at this point, Sana, you hear a clunk on the table, but when you open your eyes, it's Fungus standing there, waving his hands in front of your eyes. He says, "Are you there? Hello?"
Okay, I wake up and I kind of look around the table and realize that everybody's gone.
When you look around the table, he jumps with a start.
Where did everybody go?
When you look over, you see a man just set a jug down on the table.
What
you look
man?
like a waiter. He set a jug down on the table, and you look around the corner, and you see Millie's still over there.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the man who put the jug down. I'm gonna say, there's gonna be a meal, right?
He says, "Yes, ma'am. There's a buffet right at the other end of the hall. Would you like me to bring you something?"
Oh, well, you see, the thing is, I need to pray before I eat food. So I was wondering if maybe there was a chapel or somewhere
He he he,
chapelish that I could go
he
to
leans back slightly aghast.
pray before my food and give thanks.
He sits up and says, "You may pray to whoever you want. Just do not let Lord Zarovich know that you're praying to a god. He does not like them.
Oh, oh, of course.
There is a chapel, but it's ruined, and I cannot go over there. It's not my designated area. If Lord Strahd finds me over there, I could get in a lot of trouble. And when you work for a vampire, you do not want to be in trouble."
Right. So it's an off limits area. So okay. So can you tell me the general area so I know to stay away from that?
He points to the hallway you came through. He says, "And there's a large double door, big, heavy wooden doors.
Mm.
And Lord Zarovich usually is standing in front of those doors to greet his guests. So, but that's where you go if you wish to pray." And then he
Oh.
says, "Will that be all, ma'am?"
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for telling me where not to go.
Okay. And then he looks at Millie. "And you, ma'am, will that be all?"
Oh, what were you talking about? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Do you require any other services?
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Very well. And he picks up and walks away.
Alrighty, so how do we want to get in there?
So you were listening.
Of course, I just didn't want him to know.
Oh, okay, good. So I think it'd be better if maybe you went. It might be more
Oh,
inconspicuous.
by the way, Gertruda, girl that was missing from Crazy Ladies in a village of Barovia, seems to be serving staff here, seems to be fairly okay with it. I don't know if it's on the up and up, but I also don't know if it's really any of my business.
Well, that was so long ago. How do you remember that?
I did what I have to.
Okay, well, I feel like there's some sort of weird business going on. I mean, Strahd's been like super nice to everybody, but like can't be true.
In my experience, people who are nice all the time have the most to hide.
That's a really good point. Plus, you remember that time that he attacked us at that mansion?
Yeah, that wasn't very nice. And
Yeah.
you remember how his servant mentioned the whole being flayed and tortured for fun thing?
Yeah, yeah.
It seemed
That
a
was-
little off-putting at the time.
yeah. So, something just doesn't add up. Where did Dovan go?
Uh, probably drink.
Oh,
Out of
okay.
the corner of your eye, Millie, you see Strahd approaching as you're talking about him filleting Rahadin. And he just kind of walks up and says, "Are you enjoying your party?"
Ah, the define enjoy.
"Well, are you having fun?"
Define fun. We had this conversation last time.
"I believe we did." Have you had worse times than this?"
Easily.
"Well,
I've had better too, though.
that's something."
I'm gonna try to sneak underneath the table while they're talking.
Roll stealth.
Okay. Oh, I got a 17.
He does not notice you.
Okay, cool.
Just be under the table.
Getting under the table. I'm assuming there's a big like cloth that's covering it.
I'd have to actively be looking as well.
Yeah. And as you do that, like fungus falls through the table, and he looks at you and says, "What are we hiding from? Are we playing hide and seek? I love hide and seek."
I just put my finger to my mouth.
He goes, "Oh, shh, shh. He can't hear me." He puts his whole hand in front of his mouth. "You can't hear me though."
And I kind of I signal for him to. I guess he can't be seen. Yeah, I just tell him to try to be quiet, and I'm gonna try and sneak to the next table, the next nearest table.
Okay.
I'm gonna use. Oh no, I'm gonna use that. I'm just gonna try to sneak to the next table.
Okay, you can just sneak to the next table.
Okay, I'll do this after you guys are talking.
Carefully, not brushing up against any of the other ladies' legs or.
Yeah, if there's a woman with a really big poopy dress, I'm gonna sneak underneath her dress.
That sounds like some Millie stuff. But all right, I'll allow it.
Emulate what you know works.
So you're looking around, Millie, and all of a sudden you're all alone with Strahd.
Oh, that's fair. I did leave her before. Okay.
You tried to anyway.
It was accosted very early on.
So Strahd hasn't sat down yet. He says,
Oh, that's good.
"I see you've talked to one of my newest wards, Gertruda."
Oh yeah, I've met her mother too. Real piece of work, that one.
She's mad.
I gathered that on the third item aimed towards my head.
Yes, that sounds like Mary.
Normally there's only 2 items and they're like, scam, get out because I've stolen a piece of bread or something. But the third item, that's where you're like, this person might be a little off.
That's usually quite. I'm sure that's quite upsetting. I'm sorry, but as you can see, she's doing wonderfully here. And then he holds an arm out, and she's just passing between tables, pouring wine. She's safe as long as she follows the rules. She's comfortable. She's fed. She's has fresh clothes. When I found her, she was in nothing but rags.
Well, that's most of this place from what I've seen.
Yes, so it would seem. It can't be helped. I've tried to send aid to Barovia, and they just send it back. They do not want help from their nobles for whatever reason. Too proud, I assume.
I'm a big fan of helping myself.
Can understand that. Says, if you need anything, of course, let me know.
Questions. Met a weird woman named Morgantha. Any tidbits you got on her? Seems really interested in your type.
He just smiles for a minute and says, Morgantha is a woman you have to get to know yourself. She's an enigma of sorts. Never quite know what she's going to do that day until she does it. If you understand my meanings.
You're saying she's batshit crazy.
If you wish to say that, yes. Your words, not mine. Nobleman is not allowed to say such things about a lady of a powerful position.
That's not true. Pretty sure noblemen can say what they want.
Normally, yes, but not in mixed company. We have our rules. I must follow them.
Rules are just guidelines to slip past when they don't suit you.
I like the way you think, Millie. And now he sits down. He says, you like causing trouble, yes?
I like having fun. Sometimes it's trouble for shitty people.
True.
I won't have fun at the expense. I won't punch downward or anything, though.
How would you like to be able to have your fun forever?
Yeah, no. Crazy lady mentioned something about that. But she also mentioned some things about other stuff that, I don't know, it's a mix and match. Not gonna lie.
I see. She said some bad things about what vampires once were, yes?
Well, she mentioned the enjoyment of killing things, but I'm also like, I keep having these run-ins in various parts of Barovia, and so like she's not as high up on the list as the people with the frogs in the chest, but she's like 43% chance that that's a witch.
That sounds like witchcraft to me, yes. Do you say it's like a full, and he holds his hand, like a box of frogs?
It was a chest. It was locked. Unlocked it, hoping there'd be goodies in there. There were not goodies. There were frogs. So many frogs.
He takes pause for a second, and he says, apparently someone will have to keep a better eye on you, yes?
Say what now?
he's just grinning, and you can see his teeth. But honestly, would you like to be able to have your fun forever? Have centuries to amass wealth?
Who wouldn't? Let's be honest.
Well, I can offer you this.
I feel like that's a bit of a gilded lily there from you.
So you don't quite trust me just as yet?
Not you are rich.
Yes. It took a while to get there, but yes.
I tend to have mistrust of the people who are on top.
Well, if it would help you to know, at one point, neither me nor my family were on top. It was my hard work, decades, century, millennia of clawing our way to the top.
That's what Morgantha said.
I made my father rich. I made myself rich. My brother. I earned our nobility.
I mean, hit me with drawbacks. Don't bullshit me.
I wouldn't dream of doing so. Drawbacks to immortality? Well, in the form that I have it, you get allergic to the sun. Silver hurts a fucking lot.
Millie considers like the 3 separate silver knives she has strapped to various parts of her body right now that she stole from this very castle.
Oh, and he lets out a small chuckle and he grins and says, "You will have to sustain yourself on blood."
That seems a little off-putting, not gonna lie.
Oh, I can understand that. This here, and he like swirls the goblet in his hand and says, happens to be deer blood. It's quite tasty. I prefer it to humans, in fact.
You know, I'm a big fan of like sweet rolls. Like sweet rolls are pretty good. They've never been that high on the list.
I can still eat those things. It's just you don't sustain on them anymore. They aren't for survival. The blood is for survival. Everything else is for entertainment. And like as a demonstration, he like picks up a piece of bread and starts eating it.
You somehow make that disturbing, right, Town? Stop it with the bread.
He like stops mid-bite and swallows what he has, and as the servant's walking by, puts it down on a tray and it gets carried away. He says, well, it's just something to think about. If you would enjoy the immortality, let me know. Where has your friend Dovan disappeared to?
You should be able to sniff him out, I'm sure.
Ha, clever. Good point. And then he stands up and walks away.
Where is Dovan?
Meanwhile, Sana's like under a different table.
Is Dovan in the ballroom? Where did Dovan actually go?
Dovan's in kind of a side room
Okay.
where it's more of specifically drinking rather than the dancing.
Okay. I'm gonna try to like find my way there if I know.
Like under the tables?
Yeah, like through under the tables and just trying to be sneaky.
Okay, so the ballroom itself is like this long oblong oval shape.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of oval shapes lately, but it's actually a long oblong oval shape.
Okay.
And
like
the tables are just kind of a circle around this room, and like there's the hallway, and there's 2 or 3 side rooms on one side, and then the double doors are on one side, stairs to upstairs are on the same side, and there's like the front door.
Okay.
So when you like for whatever reason, you go under all the tables all the way around the room, under the buffet table, under the next row of tables, and then find yourself at the door when you throw the
tablecloth.
The tablecloth. I don't know why I lost that word. You throw the tablecloth behind you, and you look around, and there's no more tables, and the hallway's right to your right. And you're like, oh.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just like casually walk out.
Just stand up, brush your dress off.
Yeah. Do I see Dovan anywhere now? In the hallway?
You walk down the hallway, you look in the first room to your left, you see nothing. You walk past the big wooden door, and there's 2 guards standing in front of it.
Okay.
In the next room, you look to the left, and you hear him more than you see him. But you definitely hear Dovan, and you remember his friend from the last dinner party you were at.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to him. I also want to bring up an item that I have. And I want to know if it still is an item that I have. So remember when we found those bees?
Yeah.
And they seemed like they were like either dead or hibernating.
Mm-hmm.
I've put a bunch of them into a jar.
Mm-hmm.
Have they like woken up? Are they like alive in this jar?
No, they're still they're either dead or hibernating.
Oh, dang.
You're gonna let out a jar of bees in this room?
Well, no, not in this room.
Terrible.
I was gonna give it to Dovan to use for a distraction.
Dovan can be a distraction by himself well enough.
That's true. Okay, yeah, I'll go up to Dovan, and I'm gonna try to I just pull him aside, and I'll be like, Dovan, I need your help with something.
Oh yeah, I'll get you some wine. It's fine. I got people waiting on me already. Yeah.
Oh no, not that. You know those double doors, those wooden double doors out in the hallway?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah.
Pass them to pee. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, there are 2 guards there, and I need them to not be there.
So you want me to kill them? Might be what?
The hallway is crowded with people, by the way.
Okay, I need you to somehow get them all out of that hallway and keep Strahd busy.
Can I go off and look for these 2?
Sure. Meanwhile, Millie is poking about trying to find you guys.
Maybe come up with something.
Okay. I have this jar of dead / hibernating bees. I don't know if that might help.
Thanks, I guess.
I also have some ball bearings that might come in handy.
Just let Dovan do Dovan. Dovan.
Okay.
So, Millie, you figure they're probably down the hallway. You just try to find where the most alcohol is because you figure that's where Dovan's gonna be.
Yeah.
And you could even ask like a waiter or something, and they would tell you. And down the hall, 2 doors on the left, there's a big room where they just serve specific only alcohol. The finest wines are coming out of that room specifically. And you go and you see Sana and Dovan talk about something, and then Sana turns around and sees you.
Hello.
Wave Millie over.
You fucking left me in there with a blood-sucking, claw-bearing, bat-turning,
It was your job.
crazy monster thing.
It was your job to keep
I'm
him.
pretty sure I learned all that from a witch, and I'm having a really bad night.
Why are you still here? You're supposed to be distracting him. I thought that was the
When did I
plan.
distract him?
Okay, all right. Well, so here's what we got to do. We got to talk about our plan. I think instead of just kind of
We go in, we take the thing, we get out.
Yeah, but we got to do it stealthily. You're
I mean,
pretty.
I just kind of do that.
Millie, you're stealthy, right?
Very.
Dovan's stealthier.
Yeah,
Just throwing that out there.
Dovan, you're so much better at causing distractions, loud, attention-grabbing distractions. You're so good at that.
You guys win this round, okay?
Okay. So we need you to distract everybody. Millie, I'm gonna cast a spell on you that's gonna help you get through those doors, undetected.
I do have something that could help with the distraction. Dovan, I'm gonna have to ask for a little bit of forgiveness here. And
What'd you do, Millie?
I'll pull out a little jar and set it down.
Wait.
I'll wait for it to click for Dovan in like a few seconds.
He just stares at it intently.
Just kind of see the buffering symbol above his head.
I'm so glad you still have that.
Ah, Millie, you son of a... I've been looking... Well, forgot about it,
But now...
How long have you had that?
How long have you been missing it?
Should have suspected Millie.
But now, I imagine you might be able to figure out a way to use this as a distraction and get your stink back.
Keep talking.
See, there. You like what you hear? I hear there's guards. Well, you could go over there. You're big. You could feasibly seem clumsy. Just drop the jar. Just drop the jar next to the guards.
I love this plan so much. It's such a good plan. I think I'm gonna go try and distract Strahd. I'm gonna keep him away from those doors.
You said something about the spell magic things. What?
Yes, I'm gonna use this new spell that I've been working on. It's called Enlarge Reduce. I'm gonna make you real small.
Oh God!
Squeeze under the door. You're in. You're out.
Maybe when we're how far away are we from the doors?
Oh,
I'm sorry, what? Did you ask me something? My brother...
Actually, you know what? Let's just do it. That sounds fun. Let's do it.
Okay. It'll only last for a minute, so you only have a minute to get in there, grab the amulet, get out, and nobody's the wiser.
Well, it's probably a minute to get in there and grab the amulet, and I'll probably have to figure out a way to get out. Well, big, because if you're making me a lot smaller than I am now, I might not be that much bigger than the amulet.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I'll try to figure something out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be distracting Strahd and keeping him away from those doors.
Trying to look up the rules on Enlarge Reduce real quick.
It reduces you by a size, so I would go from small to tiny.
Yeah.
So you'd be like the size of a cat, right?
A pixie. I'd be the size of a pixie.
So
Yeah.
like a foot, something like that.
Be like a rat or something, or mouse. So
Very, very small.
Yeah.
Set of doors.
A rat's also tiny, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I think cat is like the large end of tiny.
Good plan. I feel really good about it.
so the plan is to drop Dovan's stench while distracting Strahd. Millie gets the amulet, right?
Yes. In and out.
Should we find Bones first? Or Victor, people say.
What?
Oh,
Should we
yeah,
find Victor first?
he kind of wandered off. Huh.
Well, if you see him on the way, you could probably enlist him to help you distract Strahd.
Okay.
Where's Sid? We need Sid strength.
Sid disappeared right when we came through the door.
Just disappear.
Yes, she's just straight up gone. She's just straight up gone.
Every man for himself.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Apparently, she doesn't want to betray Strahd because she's not mean to her friends like that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we should make sure she's okay.
I'm gonna go back to the ballroom, or like right outside the ballroom door, and I'm gonna keep an eye on Millie, so I know right when to cast the spell.
Okay. So who's dropping the Dovan stench?
Dovan. Dovan's gonna get a big mug of the strongest alcohol they have.
Shit, by the way.
What's that?
What?
This is some Ocean's 11 shit.
Great.
Not gonna lie, I was wondering how you guys do this. I'm enjoying it. So first step, Sana. Strahd walks out into the hallway, and he sees you and walks up to you and says, "Hello, Sana. Have you seen your friend Millie? I need to speak to her."
Oh, what do you have to talk to her about?
Well, you see, I made her an offer earlier, and I feel like I may have overpressured her, and I just need to apologize.
Oh, you know what? She forgets so quick.
No. And he holds up his hand. I must maintain that I am a gentleman. I must speak to her.
Well, look, why don't you tell me about this offer? I'd like to hear about an offer.
Well,
you and I.
And then he's like, "Fine, come with me." And then he like grabs your arm and like takes you into the other room. And says, "I think you'll enjoy this offer as well." And he like ushers you out. He starts ushering you into a different room.
Okay.
He says, "Let's go upstairs." He says, "Let's go upstairs where it's more quiet."
Oh, good, great, good. I kind of like throw a gaze back towards Millie and like kind of shrug my shoulders, like.
I'll figure something out.
Improvise, we'll do.
Improvise, adapt, overcome. Marine.
Okay, so I'll
start painting my face.
The silent room.
So he takes you up the stairs, and it's just like you remember this area from last time you were here. It's the hallway where your rooms were. He says, "Good," and it like pulls up one of the chairs that are just sitting on the side of the room with like a table. He sits down. He says, gestures to the table.
I just kind of like ask him about his family. I just start asking him like a bunch of like random questions about
It's
like oh, who built this place? This place is really nice. How long have you been living here? Do you have brothers, sisters?
And he's trying to be polite, so he's just trying to keep up and tell you all these things.
Okay. Yeah,
so
keep asking as many questions as possible. Keep him
back downstairs. Dovan, as you're walking out into the hallway, you see Millie's like standing in position. And you see Sana just as she goes upstairs with Strahd.
Okay. Time to be drunk. Years of experience. Okay. So with his big old mug that he got, he's going to kind of...
By the way, the new improvisation, I'm going to be sneaking behind him.
I figured.
So
I'm going to be kind of stumble towards the guards. Like, hey, what are you guys doing over here? Party's in there.
They just kind of look at each other and look at you, and he looks back forward and says, "I must send guards, sir."
Oh, but I insist. Come on, you gotta have some of this stuff. It's pretty good.
We are not allowed to drink while on the job, sir.
The best time to be drinking is on the job. I mean, come on, you're getting paid to do it.
Okay.
At this moment, if they don't see, I kind of drop the stench as I'm kind of on them, talking to them, being that annoying drunk.
I sit back a little bit to be out of the stench's radius when it hits.
Okay, so gotta make this perfect clear. Are you trying to make it look like you're like drunk and you just drop something you had in your hand, or are you trying to sneakily drop and break it open?
Just drop something that was in my hand.
Make a
Dovan's.
Roll deception.
Whew.
Have
Okay.
advantage because he's actually drunk.
We got this.
Oh no.
God. That was a 4, but I think now's a good time to use my inspiration from the last time.
Oh, with the clutch.
Ooh, that's a 13. And what am I rolling? Deception?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So it'd be a 12.
Well, according to my roll, that's what you needed, actually.
Whew.
Exactly a 12. So it's not effortless. Like it snags on your sleeve for a second, like the cork pops out, and then it smashes on the ground.
Right.
And then the man just immediately, what is that foul stench? And like holds his face. And you
I
see
think it was him. Oh, God.
he's looking down directly at the jar that smashed and made a loud crashing sound on the ground.
It's like,
But regardless of the situation, like everybody else is like making a bubble, trying to get away from here, like pushing everyone back. Millie, make either a strength or a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Wouldn't it be Constitution?
No, it would be a strength or dexterity check. Sorry, because you're
16.
16. Yeah, you just kind of bob and weave through them. No, just for the people pushing back, making sure she didn't get pushed back. I should have said that.
Right.
So you just kind of bob and weave around the people. You're kind of used to Dovan's scent. You're one of the few people that don't need to make a Constitution check.
Yeah, and I'll sneak behind him at this point.
Speaking of which, hold on. Well, one got a nat 20. The one that you're arguing with got a nat 20. The other one got an 8. So he starts like throwing up in his helmet and like has to pull the thing up. Just like pull his visor up. He's like, I'm so sorry, sir. And then like, and just keeps puking. Goes in big ruckus. And then like the guy like leaves his post and like is like patting his partner on the back. And this is when you sneak in, Millie.
Yeah.
Roll a stealth check.
Not too bad. 17, so plus 7, 24.
Holy crap.
Yep, you just sleep in. You just go right to the door, and it's locked.
I will use my bonus action to pick it with my fast hands feature that I get for being a thief.
Okay. So do you have to make any kind of roll for that, or are you just...
Yeah, it's a thieves tools check, Dex plus prof.
Okay, yep.
15.
Yeah, you just pop the lock real quick. You've obviously done this before, so you just sneak around, pop the lock, slip in the door, close the door behind you. And when you turn back around, this room, it's scorched. Like the walls are still blackened. There's like ashes on the ground that still get blown around a little bit. There's this thick layer of dust and dirt on top of that. There's broken pews all over the place. Some of them like upturned against the wall and obviously thrown from the center of the room. There's this large mark that you've seen fireball spells before, and it kind of looks like a fireball spell hit right there.
Yeah, I would have seen them during the spell plague when they were burning the plague victims because they couldn't actually get rid of the spell plague, so there was a murder. It was a pretty bad time.
Right. Like even the pew itself is like exploded outward towards the door or towards the back wall. There's
Looks like someone got very angry here.
And there's a big stained glass window. There's a lot of pieces missing, but you can kind of make the outline of a bird. And being Castle Ravenloft, you assume it's a raven.
Would make sense. Alrighty, did he mention anything about where in this temple it would be?
No, and the temple is just this one chapel room.
Alrighty. Other than the burnt stuff, any distinguishing features?
Not really. The glass window, the raised stone dais, and in the front, like it looks like what you
I'll
think
go,
of when you think of a church, but with like a
go
big.
check the stone dais.
Okay, you look around. Roll an investigation check.
Not my best thing. Not my best thing. Come on, giant metal loud D20. Okay, 12. Yeah, 12, because I have proficiency but no intelligence bonus.
So 12 altogether.
Yeah.
So as you're climbing up the steps, you accidentally like kick a step. You misstep because like they're broken in shape, and you hear something slide.
Oh, shit.
And you turn around, and like the bottom step has slid over.
Oh, I was all getting, like, Millie was all preparing to dive out of the way. She's been in rich people's houses before, and they've had some extreme measures.
Right. So you look down, and there's a silver chain on the end of it. Is this like a silver medallion with a big ruby in the middle of it?
Why is everything silver?
Because that's what the book says.
And you have no idea how much silver Millie has on her right now. Just like if I melted it down,
Like silver cannonballs.
probably a couple.
At least 8-pounders, right?
Yeah, like the not a cannonball, but one of the what are they called? The little shot ones. I can't remember what the actual gun's called. Pucker gun, pucker shot.
Gotcha.
They're like that big.
Yeah. So you got in here. Now you got to get out. And you don't hear the commotion you heard a minute ago.
Is there only that door into here?
That's the only door in here.
Cool. Cool. What do I got on me?
We'll switch to outside real quick. And then we'll go to Sana real quick. Sana, as you're talking Strahd's ear off, asking him 1,000 questions a second. And he's tried to answer you without missing a beat. He's answered every question.
Okay.
I says, I'm sorry, but I really must be carrying on with tonight's festivities. I really must go. And then he stands up. It's apologies again, and turns around and begins walking down. So I really must find Millie.
Oh, but you didn't tell me about the deal.
He says, oh, right. I offered her immortality in the form of vampirism.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me more about that. What's the process like? How do you become a vampire?
And he comes without going anywhere. He kind of furrows his brow at you for a second and says, well, it involves being bit by a vampire, of course.
Oh, that sounds so barbaric.
And then
Is there a way to do it?
you have to ingest the vampire's blood,
Oh no.
and then you die,
Oh no.
and then you come back.
Oh. So can you become a vampire just by ingesting their blood?
Probably, but traditions are traditions.
Do you think maybe?
Start swinging wildly at him.
I might be interested in something like that, honestly. But I'd like to do it on my terms. Is it too much to ask for perhaps a vial of blood in case I do decide to become a vampire?
He says,
Guys, if that offends you in some way.
no, not, of course not. To the library. And like he gestures to the end of the hallway where the library is.
Okay.
And you follow him and goes in there. Weirdly enough, there's like vials of different things there. And he's like scanning through them. And he says, this is my own. Be very careful with this.
Oh, of course.
In the wrong hands, this could be very dangerous to me.
I understand that, of course.
And he hands it to you. He says, oh, and your map.
Oh, yes, of course.
And then he chants something and snaps his fingers. And a book comes flying down.
Oh, neat.
And he sets it out on the table. It grabs a piece of parchment and then like waves his hand over, chanting something, and like the map raises into that paper, and he slides the book out from underneath it, and he draws a line across the road, like a hook shape. Says, "Follow the road. Do not travel through the wilderness. You will die." And like he circles and does an X, and he writes Amber Temple, right just southeast of a place called southwest of a place called Mount what I say it was Mount something, Mount Gaiacus.
Mount Gaiacus. Okay.
That's one.
All right. I'll take the map from him and thank him, and I'll just ask him one last time, just to sort of like reassure him that I'm considering the transformation. I'm gonna say, so will this also increase my magical necromantic abilities? Becoming a vampire?
The change is different for everyone. It didn't help me, but it helped my brother. But he is dead now.
Oh, that's right. You did mention you had a brother.
2, in fact.
So I'm so sorry that your brother is dead. Tell me more about him. I just try to keep distracting him.
Another time, maybe. I really must be going.
Oh, but I have so many more questions.
I understand. Another time, I assure you. And then he starts walking out.
Okay. I'm just going to keep trying to distract him.
You can kind of tell he's kind of at his wit's end of answering questions.
Okay.
Just
All
begins walking down.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep on trying to distract him. Do my best to keep him busy.
Okay. When you get down, you've only been up there for probably 5 to 10 minutes. But
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not long enough.
And as you like follow him down the stairs asking him questions, you can smell the smell. You're like, okay, something happened.
Oh, no.
And Strahd's like, I remember the smell from somewhere. It's awful. Battlefields? Raw death, maybe? And he just kind of trails off.
Oh, no. Okay.
But you see Dovan's like talking to a guard. There's only one guard in front of the door now. Dovan, the other guard was led away and outside while he was vomiting because of your smell.
Dovan's kind of got a smile because he's proud of his smell for doing that, but trying to hide it so no one's suspicious.
So yeah. So when you see Dovan talking to a guard, what do, Sana?
I don't see Millie anywhere.
Nope, Millie has not popped out yet.
Okay. I don't know. I'm kind of freezing up. I cast grease on the floor and try to make everybody trip.
Roll stealth first.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to do it stealthily.
Oh dear.
I roll 1, but I get to re-roll it.
Yay, halflings.
So 17 plus stealth is so 19. Slick grease covers the ground in a 10-foot square centered on a point within range and turns it into difficult terrain for the duration. When the grease appears, each creature standing in its area must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. A creature that enters the area or ends its turn there must also succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
What's your spell save?
I think it was 13.
I got 13 on the die.
Oh boy. Yeah, spell.
And the guard. Okay, so
Will Dovan have to make this roll?
yeah, Dovan would have to make this roll too.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's a 5 on the dice. So 6.
So as you fall, like the guard catches you, Dovan, and like holds you up. But all the noble people that are in the hallway begin falling on each other.
When Millie hears that noise, she will try to sneak back out.
As you go to open the door, you hear a woman's voice behind you as you grab the handle. It says, "Leaving so soon?" Matt's face.
Millie's like, if I don't turn around, it could kill me without me knowing, but I won't have to look at it when it does so. I'll turn around and look. Kind of sheepishly.
It is a beautiful human-looking woman with jet black hair, and she's somewhat spectral.
Like, ghosty?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, damn it. I suppose you're gonna have warnings or punishments or...
Of course not. I just came to ask your name. The bearer of the holy symbol of the raven kind must have their name recorded.
Why is everyone asking my name today? Nobody cared a month ago. Nobody gave a shit about poor little Millie, no.
Names are very important, Millie. Thank you for telling me your name.
Yes, it's Millie Sweetberry. You can have it there. Don't wear it out.
I will tell you, though, that what you're carrying is a great burden and responsibility.
Oh.
And I wouldn't try to give it to one of your friends. None of them are quite qualified. It might hurt them. So I suppose there is a warning in this.
You always manage to sneak one in there, just like the stories.
Be cautious, but your friends are waiting now.
Alright, I'm gonna try and not get stabbed to death on the other side of this door.
Okay, so roll your stealth check to sneak back out.
Alrighty, dark red die, don't fail me now. Dark red die. Thank God I have a high bonus. 14.
Yeah, that's fine. You can sneak out there. Now roll your dexterity check as you walk out onto the slippery floor.
God, I wasted that 7 on a stealth. Dexterity saving throw?
Yep.
Okay, then that's a 16.
Yeah. So you walk out, and it's slippery, and you like catch yourself real quick, and you're like, "What the hell?" But you're good.
Just skate past everybody.
You just kind of push off the door and slide. And try to pickpocket anyone on the way through.
If I see any glaringly like hanging out money, yes.
Just roll a sleight of hand check real quick.
Fuck yeah. Blue die. Blue die for the win. 22.
Yeah, you grab a pouch.
Oh dear. I feel like Tarzan of the Grease.
Oh dear God.
Rod reacting to all of this.
He's just trying to help organize the chaos of everyone falling, and he looks down, and he recognizes the grease spell. He's a wizard. He's a high-level wizard. And he chants something and snaps his fingers, and the grease goes away.
I stop sliding and catch myself.
Right? You, like, run into the guy's leg, and that's when you steal the pouch.
Good timing. Good timing.
Okay. You can look in the pouch later.
I will. I'll just write it down as pouch for now. Oh, things.
Okay, and when the guy turns around, he's wearing like a bright red and black suit of sorts, like fancy, Victorian England clothes. Okay, I don't know how else to explain it. But you look up, and he looks vaguely familiar, but you can't place your name on him. He just says, "Sorry, ma'am," and then he like tries to help you stay standing up.
Do I know you from somewhere?
He just kind of gives you a sly grin and says, "Everybody knows everyone from somewhere," and then he walks away.
Swear to God, if it says shopkeeper.
It's not the shopkeeper.
Because I was gonna fucking kill him here and now.
Just in front of everybody, murder hobo time.
Just vicious, bloodthirsty, barbarian-esque rage.
Okay, as that happens, Victor walks up to you and says, When do we begin the plan?
Oh, Victor.
So slow on the uptick.
I don't know why that got me so good.
It was good. The timing. It was all about
Yeah, that
timing.
was great.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he looks very serious. When do we begin the plan?
Can I see these guys?
Yeah, you could probably
I'll give Sana a thumbs up if she
You-
sees.
you can see Dovan at the very least. I know Sana went and talked to Dovan, didn't you? So yeah, you can see them both.
Yeah, I'm helping out some people getting up from the grease.
Okay.
You're like, how did that happen? Who did that? Somebody spill something? That was weird. I've never seen that before.
Oh, it's fun to skate on.
What a fun party this is.
Give you a little thumbs up.
I'll give you a wink.
I agree. Dovan's going to continue drinking in the midst of all this.
Dovan, I thought I told you about how getting rid of that would make you smell worse.
Yeah, but can't you just hear it? It calls. It's Dovan. Dovan. I just can't help it.
Ah, but also imagine this. You walk through a crowd, people turn, they look, they stare, and then they vomit.
What have I become? He's going to slowly pour out the alcohol, looking away, tear in his eye.
Dovan's road
He's going to have a.
Yeah.
He's going to have a long talk with Darian.
That'd be funny. Dovan give Darian a fucking intervention.
So I realized about 15 minutes ago.
That you smell good when you drink, and I need you to stop. Anyways.
Well, I conveniently left out the fact that after about 2 weeks, that smell will dissipate. Especially if you get drunk in water and bathe or something. It's just your
Okay,
body.
so Dovan won't drink for 2 weeks. Because when he doesn't smell anymore, he'll say, what's the point? Drink again. I like this. I like this.
Your poor liver is going to go into shock.
Dovan will die.
We're playing Curse of Strahd. Dovan's greatest enemy is alcoholism.
Final boss
Great.
prevention.
Alright, so how much longer is this party going to last? Like, what are we doing?
Victor will tell you it usually lasts till about 4 in the morning. But if everything's all set, we can leave now.
Oh, I'm pretty tired. I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's been a long night.
I gotta work in the morning, you know.
The dress is.
He cocks his head to the side. What?
I'm just playing along. We gotta be convincing in case somebody's listening.
Okay, I believe we're traveling by coach home for some reason. I don't know why. When I can just poof us back, but let's go. And then he points out the door, and you guys march out, and you catch Rahadin on the way out. And
how you doing, Rahadin?
he gives you a nod. He says, "What's happened to Miss Cydia?"
We forgot Sid.
Oh, damn it. We do need Sid.
Let's get back in there and find her.
Yeah, no, we should go get Sid.
He holds up a hand and says, "We will make sure she finds her way home. Maybe she has met someone that has caught her interest for the party. We wouldn't want to intrude now, would we?"
Boy, we gotta put like a bell on her or something.
We really do. We really do.
He's just nodding. He seems to really enjoy the idea of putting a bell.
But at the same time, Rahadin does make a point. There's she always manages to find her way back.
She's like a lost puppy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so you guys walk down the steps, and you hop in the coach, All right, wait. You have to wait for the coach. Black coach comes up with just like a feather emblem on the side of it, and Victor will open the door for you guys. You guys climb in. He climbs in after you. And when you climb in, you see it's to the left, like leaning back and away, is Ismark, Arena, and Sid.
Oh, there you are.
We knew you would be here. We weren't leaving without you.
She just looks at you with stern disbelief. That she truly believes you were going to leave her.
No, we were definitely going to leave you, but that's because you always find your way back, and we can never find you before you find your way back. So it's just kind of a moot point.
This is a part where we actually needed Janna for Sid.
Yeah.
So Victor closes the door and says, I don't know why we're all heading back. I could proof us all back, but let's just... And he like bangs on the coach. And he looks stressed out. He had no... I mean, the three of you know he had no part in the theft of the amulet.
Relax, Victor. It was a party.
Who's that person that dragged you away from everybody? What were you talking about? Worms and silk?
Oh, she's a up-and-coming trade merchant. She's trying to get into the silk trade, and I kind of have the leading grasp on that.
Oh, okay.
It's perfectly innocent business talk.
I hope so.
And Fungus is sitting in his lap, by the way.
How enjoyable this is. Fungus is back.
He's like scratching himself like a dog, by the way.
Aw. I'm just kind of like staring at Victor's lap.
Victor looks at you quizzically.
I look back up at him. I just kind of like wink. I go back to like looking out the window.
One of those really obvious, horrible winks, like.
Yeah. I play it off as casually as I can.
Ismark leans back. He says, I've had a long night. I could really use some pie.
Oh, hey, we know a place.
I would love some pie.
We do know a place, but they're not fond of me, and it's nighttime. We don't want to. They've already sold all their pie by this point.
If I can't have any more alcohol, hold that to your back. I'm going to get some pie.
They're probably still really angry about the frogs.
Maybe some rum pie.
Ismark says, I've got you. I've got your back, friend. And he pulls out like a wineskin and hands it to Dovan. But let's go get pie anyway.
I can't, Ishmark. I can't. Well,
Where's
the pie, yes, but I can't.
Dovan,
He looks genuinely sad at you not drinking with him. Like
I need my stench.
you're
I
very
was
certain.
told I'd be smellier without.
He goes, I will wait for you, my friend. Just let's please get pie. Where do we
Tears
go for
coming
pie?
in with lock eyes for a sec and just.
And you guys can have pie, but I really don't think I'm allowed back in there.
You could wait in the carriage then.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Usually after I've released a horde of a plague of frogs into someone's abode, I do not return.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna find a lot of frog like pies when we go there.
Feel free to bring me back a pie.
If you're good. If you're good.
I mean, I did get this, and I'll pull the chain out from around my neck.
It's shiny. Like there's a low glow coming from the ruby in it.
Fine, I guess you deserve pie.
Oh, hey.
I did back up in there.
Millie,
And
can I-
Victor's jaw has dropped.
I'm good at what I do, Victor.
Yes,
Come
I
on.
suppose bringing a thief along was a good idea. What were you saying, Sana?
Millie, can I try that on? Or can I look? Can I hold it and like touch it and see it?
Billy looks conflicted.
Come on, Millie, we worked so hard for this. I just want to hold it.
You can look at it for a minute. But I did have it on a good source that I wasn't supposed to trust it with other people.
What? Who told you that?
A phantasmal being, and you can always trust those phantasmal beings. I'd flick the amulet to you. Make sure you give that back.
maybe we should.
Victor leans back and he has his big skeleton grin. And you take it, Sana, and nothing happens. You just look at it and hold it. It's kind of heavy. Heavier than you thought it'd be.
Okay. All right, neat. I admire it for a second. I give it back to Millie.
Could you glean anything special about it, other than the fact that it's shiny and heavy?
Oh, I also have something else that might help. I don't know if it's the real deal, but Strahd gave me some of his blood.
What's that for?
Turning into a vampire.
Oh, his offer. He extended to you as well, then.
Yeah, he also said
Aw, Dovan doesn't get any offer.
I mean, to be fair, Dovan, I feel like any offer from someone that high up in the chain somewhere is going to be loaded.
Plus, Dovan, you would make a terrible vampire. We all know that.
I've already drank blood at his last party.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to like drink.
Ah, but they have claws, and you like to use your axe.
That is true. That is true. So off to pie.
Oh, God help me off to pie.
By the way, that is the holy symbol of Ravenkind.
Shiny and sun-shaped.
Yeah.
It's all the things that Strahd said vampires don't like.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys about that one later. So off to pie, and Victor will ask, where is this place where we're procuring these pies?
It's a windmill.
Some windmill.
You
They
think?
love us there.
Okay. Which way is it?
That way.
Down the road.
Okay.
We've gone to the windmill from Strahds.
He leans over. He slides the little door. He says, "Driver, do you know where a windmill is?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, the blah blah blah." And he says something in a weird language. He says,
Yeah.
"Okay," and slowly closes the door.
See, we're in good hands.
I hope.
You don't seem very sure about that.
Maybe we could get out of the carriage.
Yeah, if we get far enough away, we could just poof, like you said.
Whatever happened to my goat?
And then we could just have pie at your place. Pie.
Ismark is like, but their pie was really good.
And they had so much.
They
And
did.
it was funny to see all those frogs come out.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Who did that? That was Millie?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a wizard.
Got Millie written all over it.
Millie will remember this.
Going down in her book of revenge.
Vengeance.
So, yeah, after like an hour later, Victor says, well, we're far enough away now that if we want to leave the coach, we can. But I don't know where this windmill is.
We'll find it. It's along a road.
Along a road.
On the road. We'll find it.
She was like halfway between somewhere and somewhere else. Yeah, we'll be good.
Halfway between Barovia and V. It starts with a V. I forget what the other town was called.
Velaki.
Velaki.
That's right.
Says, okay, I think I know where you may be talking about. And then he snaps his fingers. And you guys appear, and the windmill's in the distance.
Yay.
See, no fire, no mud. This was efficient. This is my preferred method of teleportation. Mark it down.
You look down, and there's like thorns around your feet.
Only around Millie's.
Millie's
That'd be great.
specifically, there are thorns around Millie's feet.
Can't win.
You like have like little black feathers all over your coat. You have to brush them off real quick. But you guys walk down the road to the windmill. You knock on the door. Where's Millie? Is Millie gonna be there, or is she hiding somewhere?
Millie is going to hide in the back outside.
Okay.
Back of the line outside.
So Sally opens the door, and her eyes get real big. She says, "Oh, Dovan, Ismark, you're back!"
Pie!
As well as Sana and Cydia and Arena and Mr. Bones.
His name is Virgil.
Hi, Virgil. Okay. When did he find out his name?
Recently.
Oh, okay. It's just pie, huh, Dovan? Are you like pushing past her to the pie?
Yeah.
Okay, so you push back to the pie. Like Ismark is like right on your coattail. He says, "You're all dressed very fancy. Where were you?" Sana.
Oh, me? You know, just visiting the relatives.
You were where?
Just visiting some relatives. Some family down at that.
She like squints at your clothes. Those are really new clothes to just be visiting relatives. But
You know, it was great grandma's.
wait a minute. Didn't you say you're not from Barovia? Last time you were here? How do you have relatives here?
I was just messing with you. No, it wasn't my great grandma. It was Arena's great grandma.
Oh, well, that makes a lot more sense then. Come on in. And then as you guys all pile on, where's Millie? Is she about anywhere?
She thought you'd be mad. So, yeah, she's not here.
Mad about what?
The whole frog thing.
Frog thing. Oh, she let her frogs out. Oh, yes, that's supposed to be a family secret. Most of our pies are made with frog leg.
Tastes good to me.
Great.
No. Mother knows a bit of magic, so she was able to get them all back with no problem. It wasn't even a worry. Where is she?
I'll go tell her. She'll be ecstatic about this. I go back and find Millie and inform Millie.
You say she can use a bit of magic. You remember how last time I ran out of her screaming, witch, witch, witch? You're telling me that they can do a bit of magic does not make me want to go there. Doesn't ease the gears, if you will.
Magic blocks magic. How magic works.
I am prepared to stab each and every person in there, just so you know.
Okay, maybe you could stay out here. I'll just get you a pie.
Good plan.
What flavor?
Probably meat. I'm pretty sure they just do meat.
Yeah, they're mincemeat pies.
Okay.
So yeah, you go back in. And to all this talking about the frogs, you look over at the chests, and both of them are locked shut now.
Which one had the frogs in them?
The one on the left. It's my favorite one.
Oh boy, now I'm really curious. But I don't have anything to pick lock, so.
Sally says, "Dovan and Ismark, I need your help moving something upstairs. Can you both come upstairs and help me for a moment?"
But my pie.
You can bring your pie. Don't worry.
Okay.
Are there other windows and stuff on this windmill?
No. There's only the 2 or 3 windmills. There's 3 windmills on the bottom floor. So, yeah, she leads Dovan and Ismark upstairs, and then like closes the door behind her. You guys can hear shuffling and scooting things across the ground. And they're just up there for a while, and they get real quiet.
Or is the actual windmill connected to the house? Or
The house is literally the base of the windmill.
oh, okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna quickly take out that mirror and check that mirror that I have.
Yep, it still looks exactly the same.
Oh, dang it. Okay. Is there anybody else downstairs? Or in the
Sorry, I'm reading something real quick. Okay. What was that? Is somebody else downstairs?
Yeah.
It's you, Sid, and Arena are still downstairs, and Victor are downstairs. Obviously, Millie's outside, hiding.
I asked Victor if I can use a couple of his smaller bones to try and pick one of these locks.
He looks at you, aghast. You want to use my body for what?
You know, you have some small bones.
And when he says that, you can hear repetitive thumping upstairs.
Oh. Okay. Don't know what that is. Doesn't sound good. Maybe they should get some soundproof rooms if they're gonna do that kind of stuff. What's Millie doing?
I'm hiding directly next to the front door at this point, just kind of trying to listen in without actually being visible.
Oh, okay.
You know, kind of leaning against it, ready to dart if I have to. Just
Millie, roll perception.
metal die hasn't been treating me the best, so we'll try green die. Natural 20.
Yeah.
So 26 altogether.
Eventually, your curiosity gets you with the frog chest, and you look over and you see the other one's locked down, not just the one you unlocked last time.
I'm gonna go over to the door, and I'm still wearing my big poofy dress because I had asked for a big poofy dress.
You guys are still wearing your evening wear. You
gonna...
could have changed in the coach, but for some reason, none of you wanted to change in front of each other.
No, definitely. I don't want to take my.
It's really cramped quarters too. It'd be awkward.
Yeah.
I
mean,
sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was gonna say you guys are halflings, so it wouldn't be so bad for you two. But
yeah. I'm gonna say, Millie, you want to try opening that other chest?
Are they in there right now?
No, they went upstairs. But just
I'm at those chests.
just to be safe, come sneak under my dress, and I'll walk over there, and I'll just kind of like stand nonchalantly by the pick it open.
I don't know if I'm gonna fit under there.
Sure you can. It's a big poofy dress. I asked for an extra big poofy dress.
Like maybe if I crawl.
That's immediately what I'm picturing. It looks like you straddling and walking over.
Yeah, it'll be great. You won't suspect it.
Hello? What's up?
Momentary setback.
Yeah. I think this plan is really foolproof, though.
So Sana and Millie are playing horsey.
Yeah.
So, would we have left our weapons back? We probably didn't take those, did we?
No, you didn't take any of your weapons, and except for the small weapons and knives and stuff
That Millie has.
that Millie and probably Sana, because they did explicitly say they could tailor their dresses to have like hidden pockets and sleeves for knives.
Yeah. Dovan would have seen knives as pointless.
Right.
Toothpicks. So he wouldn't have done any of that.
I use knives to hit my swords to sharpen my swords with.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So yeah, just roll a quick lockpick check to see if you can pop this chain off.
I'll do the non-frog one first.
You just hope they haven't switched them since you left.
Dun dun dun.
I am doing this quick time Millie style, like pop one lock, bonus action, pop the other lock if I manage to.
Okay. So go ahead and try to pop this first one.
Yeah. Well,
You get
12. Not my best roll.
good enough. They're easy enough padlocks. You pop it open. When you open it up, you see Dovan is in this chest, bound and gagged.
What?
And that's where we'll stop this week.
Well, that was quick.
How did that happen? Dovan, you funny guy.
You rascal.
Hiding in chests.
Oh, Dovan.
Dovan.
Just shut the chest. Oh, he'll be fine.
Yeah, so I just want to say, first thing out of Millie's mouth, I fucking knew it.
I'm kind of like facing away from the chest. I'm like, what's in there, frogs?
We'll get to all that
Is that
next
a type of frog? Is Dovan a type of frog, or
Kind
kind of reptilian, right?
yeah, true.
All right, so we'll get to more of that next week. It was a little bit of a shorter session this week, but that's okay. This has been session 8 of Curse on Dice. My name is Zach Narragon. I'm the DM and host of Geeks on Dice. Does anyone else have anything else to say before we stop the broadcast?
You can also, if you like nerdy stuff, check out the Nerds and Stuff channel. I've done a video on there before, so I guess I'm allowed to plug it. My friends run it. It's pretty good stuff.
Cool. Also, Curse on Dice has a Twitter account where it's basically just me saying random things, resharing a lot of Chris Perkins stuff because I love Chris Perkins. Anybody else? Anything at all?
Nope, I got nothing.
All right. So until next week, that'll end the broadcast. Bye.